candle friend.
Candle? No. There is no candle friend.
My candle friend.
Candles. Making candles are very, very easy. The only thing is to know when to pour, when to add your temperature. To add your fragrance and the melting points for each candle, and also to know the properties of each candle and know what the properties of each wax and know what wax you're going for. So I've been able to bring 3 different waxes today that we're going to talk about. I've got paraffin, I've got coconut. I've got paraffin, I've got soy. This soy wax, I think. Yeah, that's soy wax. And I've got beeswax. I don't have coconut here. I don't have gel wax, but I've got coconut and gel wax in the office for some reason. But we'll still talk about it. We'll learn about their burning properties, their pouring properties, at what point to add your fragrance and all of that. And then we take it from there. We'll also talk about a blend of waxes. So I sent the handout to your group. If you'd like to follow me on that. And then we take it. Oh, can somebody send it to... Yeah. Oh, she printed it out. She's so organized.
So you sent this to what?
WhatsApp.
You didn't send it to email.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, just this morning actually was when I sent it, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so there are different types of waxes. On the note here, we have the soy wax. So the soy wax is gotten from the soybean. For that reason, that makes it eco-friendly. It's renewable and biodegradable, non-toxic. It also means that it has a slow burn quality and it burns clean without soot. So these are some of the things we have to have in mind to be able to pick the right wax for a candle. And then it has a good hot or cold scent through. This means that when the candle is hot, you can smell it. Scent through means you can smell it. When the candle is cold, like it is here, you can still smell it. Some of the waxes, as we go along, you see that some of them have a better scent through, but may not have the right properties you're looking for, like it suits when you bend them. And as we go along, you see it. So you can do a blend of waxes because all the waxes have different properties, and I'll talk about it. So let's go through the notes, come back and talk about the properties and how to do a blend so they can have a little bit of that. It's basically like your soap making. You want a little bit of hardness, so you go for coconut. You want that, you go for like that. It's the same thing that has to do with this as well. So soy wax are good for container candles, melts, and tins. So you can use it for wax melts. You can use it for your container waxes. You can use soy wax for that. For wax melts, you can also use soy wax for that. And you can, in your tins, you can use soy wax for that. So this tells you that soy wax cannot be used as is it like a pivot wax candle? Pivot candle.
Oh, it can't be standing on its own.
No, it can't.
It has to be in it.
It has to be in a container.
Right.
Well, that's the difference.
Just like...
Okay. Yeah. Because it's not as hard as some of the other waxes we'll be talking about. So it can't stand on its own. It has to always be in a container.
There's no good using molds for them.
Why it should be used in container?
Because it's not as strong as some of the other waxes we'll be talking about. You get it?
It won't stay rigid. It will collapse if it's not in.
So let's talk about the recipe for using soy wax. So 100% soy wax, or example, 100 grams of your soy wax will go with 6 to 8 grams of fragrance oil. This is very important, especially in the UK law. So 6 to 8 grams percent of fragrance oil to 100 grams of wax. Stick to that ratio. This means that your candle is safe to burn. If you go beyond this ratio, it's very hazardous, and if anybody uses it at home, it can cause fire. The possibility of it causing a fire outbreak is high. So stick between 6 to 8% of fragrance, no matter how much you want to. I can't smell my candle, I want to smell it. Let me add 1 gram of, don't. Please, for safety reasons. Yeah. For safety reasons, stay between 6 to 8%. And here is where we learn the pouring, the melting temperature. So the melting temperature for wax melt is 75 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. So that's the point where the wax have fully melted. Don't let it go beyond 80 degrees, 85 degrees Celsius. Then you are going to burn your wax.
You mean that when making the candles,
Yeah.
the melting temperature is like 70 something?
Yeah, making the candles, the melting temperature for your wax, soy wax, is between 75 degrees Celsius to 85 degrees Celsius. Don't let it melt beyond 85 degrees Celsius. This means that you have to keep an eye on your temperature. The moment it goes beyond 85, you've bent the wax. So don't do that. Make sure you're keeping an eye on it and it's going to stay within that. Then at 65 degrees Celsius, you add your fragrance. So you may have melted it to 75 degrees Celsius. Don't add your fragrance at that point. Leave the wax to sit and cool down to 65 degrees Celsius and then add your fragrance. The reason why is that when the wax is too hot, it degrades the fragrance and makes you lose some fragrance, so your wax will not have a good scent through. And that's why you buy some candles that I can't smell anything. It's just because probably the fragrance was added at the wrong time. So these are some of the things you have to consider in coming out with a good quality candle. Temperature is one main thing. Then we come to the pour temperature. So if you're adding your fragrance at 65 degrees Celsius, once you've done that and you've mixed it in well, now at 65 degrees Celsius, if you want to add color, that is the time you're adding color as well. Fragrance and color at that time, if you want to color your candle.
Is it any sequence, fragrance and
No,
color?
Not any
Just
sequence.
only 65
Yeah,
is okay.
yeah. Then after you've done that, you're going to leave it to sit and cool again till 60 degrees Celsius before you pour. Now there's a technique that I'm going to show you here, and that is why sometimes I like to leave some of these things. Now you can see that the bottom, this was purple, so it was three colors actually: purple, yellow, and a lighter shade of yellow. You can see that the purple has faded off. That is not this. It's been 7 years, like I was saying with this candle. So it's normal that some of them, if you don't have a good grade color, it will fade off. But what I'm drawing your attention to is you can see that the candle has some marks on it because it did not stick to the container of the candle. And that was because there were two different temperatures between the candle and the container. Now, if I'm using this container, you would not see that effect because it's hidden.
Yeah.
But if I'm using a transparent container, you'll see it. So what you can do is heat up your empty container a little bit to bring it to the temperature of your wax, possibly, so that when you pour in your wax, both container and wax are at the same temperature, so they cool off together at the same time. They are not at different temperatures. So the wax is not forcing to pull itself away from the container to give you this unsightly effect. And that's why sometimes I always keep this because I'm going to use it to teach, basically. Did I confuse anybody? Did I confuse you, Fatima?
Would you repeat the reason of this bubbles in the bottom?
Okay, so you can see that. Maybe I have to pass it closer to her so she can see that it's got some unsightly marks at the bottom. You can't see it too well because the color is, but you see it more if the color was darker, because the pour temperature and the temperature of your container were both at different temperatures because it was a cold. So what I'm saying, you have to be warm. Your container must be warm because your candle wax is warm, so that when both come together, there is no.
How we can warm it with?
You can warm it with your hair dryer. You can also warm it with some hot water. Pour it in quickly, let it warm, sit in it a little bit, pour it out again so your container is warm before you clean it. Remember, you can't mix it up with water. Water and wax will not mix. So when you've done your hot water in it, leave it to sit a little bit just to warm the container up. And then pour it out quickly, clean it, and then you pour your wax in. hold on, we've not done the wicking, but because I'm talking about wax, that is why I've jumped one step. You do your wick before you pour the wax. Leave the wick, I'll come back to that. But because I'm explaining the different temperature contrasts, that is why I've jumped one step to move on to this one. Hi. Morning. Oh.
Why is nobody sitting over there? Just.
Just because when people walk past, we press the button.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had talked about, I'll quickly recap and then we go on from there. We had talked about the different types of waxes. And I said that in this class, we have 3 waxes, different types of waxes here. But we'll only be using the paraffin wax, even though I'll discuss the other ones. So there's a paraffin wax, there's a coconut wax, there's soy wax and beeswax. But what I have now is paraffin, soy, and beeswax. And we are talking about different pour temperature, melt temperature, and how each wax behaves in your candle making process. That is where basically we are at now. And I mentioned that soy wax is from soybean oil and is eco-friendly. So if you are looking at sustainability, which of course is the language of the day for everybody, just because you are trying to take into consideration our environment, and especially when you have anything sustainable, it's easy to sell. Because like she was talking about the Gregs, somebody, everybody is worried about the environment. So when people are buying, they are looking at some of these things. And if you have a sustainable product, it's very easy to sell because people are very concerned about that. So people who are sustainable conscious, and a lot of people are becoming very sustainable conscious. So it's better, I'll say it's better to use soy wax, beeswax, coconut wax. Paraffin wax has its own properties, but if it stands on its own, you may be able to sell, but it may be quite difficult as well. But it doesn't mean you can't sell. So what you can do is do a blend of paraffin and soy wax or coconut wax. If you want to talk sustainability, at least you have some amount of a sustainable product in there. So that means that you're thinking about the environment, which is what we are all aiming at now. So I said that the soy wax burns slowly and it also burns clearly. So it doesn't burn with soot. So it has a clean burn. If you have a soy wax candle at home, you'll see that when it burns, all you smell more is, if it's 100% soy wax candle, you just smell the fragrance. If it is paraffin wax, you smell some soot, some smoke, plus your fragrance. So that doesn't make it healthy for inhaling. And that's another thing people will think of more.
Actually, people like get spots on the tongue and
Yeah.
it's really bad inhaling.
Yeah.
Even the tea lights.
Tea light candles, I was going to come down. Most of the tea light candles are made from paraffin wax. Most of them. And that is why it has an after smell of smoke. Because it's got that. So, yeah. As for the melt temperatures and all, because you have it, I've spoken about it a little bit, but I'll move on to coconut wax. For us to discuss coconut wax. Coconut wax is gotten from coconut oil. It's also very eco-friendly as well. Highly sustainable. It burns slowly, even burn with a creamy texture. Scent throw is excellent scent throw. In saying that, it means that all those ones that are eco-friendly waxes are expensive. So you may have 2 candles, both of them at 100 grams, one more expensive than the other. It's basically because the wax that was used is quite expensive. So if I have 2, like this candle, this is paraffin wax, this is soy wax. They are all in about the same size of container. I'll be selling the soy wax a bit higher than that because paraffin wax is not as expensive. It's expensive, but not as expensive in comparison to the other waxes. Does that make sense? Yes. So for that reason, we can have that variation. And we can also have variation in prices as a result of the kind of fragrance you used. Some of the fragrance oils are very, very expensive. So depending on what you use, high grade, 100% organic, whatever, is going to make it very expensive as well. Like I had one candle at the craft fair, which I didn't bring today, and I wish I had. And after producing the candle, I cannot sell it. I don't feel like selling unless I get a right price for it. I will not sell it because there's no way I'm going to be selling a 700-gram wax and a 70-gram fragrance oil
Not
for anything less than 18 pounds.
You mean the fragrance is can we use essential oil or
Yeah. You can use essential oil or fragrance oil. You can use
is
a
it the
mix.
same amount when we use essential oil, for example, 8 to 10%?
So let's say that you decide that you want to go for 6 grams to 100 grams of fragrance oil, but you want to use a blend of essential oil, fragrance oil. Then you're going to decide, okay, I'm going for essential oil, 4 grams out of the 6. Then fragrance oil, 2 grams. So the 2 plus 4 gives you 6. Whatever oils you are using, make sure that when all the oils come together, you are either having 6 grams, 7 grams, or 8 grams. Am I making sense? Because I'm going to be talking about top note, middle note, and base note soon. So if I have my top note, 2 grams, middle note, 2 grams, base note, 2 grams, or whatever the calculation is saying I should put my thing in. If I decide that at the end of the day, my total fragrance weight is going to be 6 grams, then I have to make sure that when all the different components of fragrance come together, I have to get 6 grams or 7 grams because the range is between 6 to 8 grams for soy wax. Did that make sense?
To make fragrance or essential oil with soy wax.
With 10, for soy wax, with 100 grams of soy wax. So that's the ratio.
Is that different if you use a different blend?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So we're going to be talking about all of them. All of them have different quantities of fragrance oils that should go in it.
So if you make a mixture of, say, 3 different waxes, how do you
That's going to be quite difficult, but you have to take the safest, depending on, because if I'm doing a blend of soy and cocoa paraffin, I'll probably go for more, like maybe 70% or 80% of my wax would be soy wax. Then maybe 20% of my wax would be paraffin wax. I can decide for that reason because both of them have good scent through. Even though the paraffin wax have a better scent through when we come to that, than the soy wax. I'd rather stick with 6 to 8 grams. Because my soy wax has more quantity than the fragrance. So it's more of understanding how each wax works and then thinking, because that has a better scent through already, it will still elevate the scent through, even if I go with the fragrance quantity. Am I making sense? So she was asking if you do a blend of waxes.
Yeah.
Do you stick with the fragrance ratio for soy wax or the fragrance ratio for paraffin wax? And I'd explained that if you're doing a candle, because we are looking at sustainability, I would rather go for 80% of my soy wax and do 20% of my paraffin wax. Because at this point, I believe you're only adding the paraffin wax for hardness. But both of them have good scent through. Only the paraffin wax has a better scent through than the soy wax. But that does not mean that the soy wax hasn't got it has a good scent through. But if you're comparing the two, this has a better scent through than that. And because both of them have the property of a good scent through, I'll stick with the ratio of, for soy wax, 100 grams is to 6 to 8 grams of fragrance oil. I'll stick to that and not use the ratios for this. Because in essence, you had only used more of this than that.
And if the paraffin's got a better scent through,
Anyway,
it's just going to
yeah.
enhance it anyway.
So it's mainly understanding the waxes and how it works just like in soap making, understanding your oils and how it works, and saying, okay, if this has this and I'm putting it together, then I'm going to do this and that and that. So let's understand how the waxes work first, then we can be able to get creative with like going forward from there. So we are back to coconut wax. The burn quality is slow, even burn with a creamy texture. Send through, excellent send through. Best for container candles and blends with other waxes. So it means that coconut wax works best as a blend with other waxes. So 100% coconut wax or 100 grams of coconut wax is to 8 to 10 grams of fragrance oil. So here is different. The melt temperature is about the same, 75 to 85 degrees Celsius. The pour temperature, the fragrance adding temperature is 70 degrees Celsius. Here is also different. In the soy wax, the temperature at which we add fragrance is 65 degrees Celsius. Coconut wax is 70 degrees Celsius.
So when we mix the wax together, which temperature we should follow?
The one that has more
Oh.
in volume. In saying that, always look on, like for this one, look at what the manufacturer says on the package. This one has, it says that we recommend melting wax. We recommend melting wax in a pouring container. Never leave melted wax unattended. Keep the water in a simmer, so the wax melts, but does not overheat. Melting point for this soy wax is 52 to 55 degrees Celsius. For this one. So even though I'd said this, always refer to manufacturer's packaging. What? This particular one is 52 to 55 degrees Celsius. Pouring.
Because that's that one.
That one manufacturers, yeah.
It's a
But
bit wet or
generally it's,
what's that? What's the
This soy wax.
Soy
80.
And then your pour temperature, it says on it 50 to 70 degrees Celsius. So the manufacturer should be able to have some form of information for you. It is not always guaranteed. Like some of the waxes I bought from Temu did not have that. This one came from Amazon. Amazon will have those specifications on it because, like I said, the regulations, the UK regulations will require that you put this information on your packaging, else you are going against the regulations. So they will do the right one. Sopri will also do the right one. Temu is not bound to do the right one. So most of the packages I got from, I think this one I bought from Temu. I'm going to see if it has any information.
It's a machine or
Temu, this one. I'm seeing some. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It has instructions. Prepare the wax, which can be melted by heat.
But do you think that the quality is good or not good?
No, I don't trust anything with Temu, if you ask me. If you ask me, I don't trust anything with Temu, but I bought it from there for economic reasons. You get it, yeah. But if I have to be doing, like, if I get an order and the person is expecting 100% beeswax, I will not buy from Temu. I'll buy from Amazon or Sopri or some other UK registered company that I know that they are strict on regulations with some of these things, just to be on the safer side, basically, yeah. But for the purposes of this class and for the grant you're working with and the money to get things going, yeah.
If the melt temperature is different for that, so how does that affect the pour temperature?
It means that the pour temperature is going to, because when you is going to be around 48, 49, because when you put you have to leave it to cool down a little bit further.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 2 degrees lower, 3 degrees lower, but not too low because then it's beginning to harden again.
Okay.
You get it? You just need it at a liquefied state where you can pour it. But whatever it is, your melting temperature is higher than your cooling temperature, which is also higher than your fragrance adding temperature, which that is also higher than your pour temperature. So just leave it at, when you look at their ratings here, you can see that they've done it 2 to 5 degrees difference. So work within that range. My melt temperature is 2 to 5 degrees higher than my pour temperature as it's here. But even the pour temperature has a range of 50 to 70 degrees. So my own will be your guide because different waxes come at different melt and pour temperatures. But if you have one wax that has the pouring and melting temperature on it, like this one has, stick to it. If you get wax that does not have, you can refer to mine as a guide.
Can I just generally say that for adding the frequency, actually it's like lower than the melt temperature, like 35 degrees.
Yeah.
And then when you pour it, and it also has to lower it like
3.5. Yeah, they're about. Yeah.
That might be paraffin with the colour.
It looks like that. It looks because that's because you can see because it stained the bottle, it stained the container. You see, an original wax which I had some before didn't stain the it won't stain the wrapper because you see that it's colored that's Temu for you.
Which is the most expensive wax?
The most expensive wax, coconut and soy wax. Beeswax, original beeswax, very, very expensive. I think the most expensive is the beeswax. Then we come to coconut and soy. Paraffin is the least expensive. There is gel wax, which is also very expensive. I have a little block in the office that is very, very, maybe about this, very, very expensive. I'll talk about that, but we'll not do much on that.
Like the cocoa butter, they have like unfined, fine.
100% organic cocoa butter.
That is unfined.
Refined or unrefined. Unrefined. Organic, unrefined. Refined is when they've added other things to.
So when doing the candle, is it refined or not?
Yeah, we all hope that we bought a refined product. Like I hope that I bought a refined beeswax, and this is what they brought me, and you can all tell that is not what they said it was. Yeah,
But
so we.
both can, right?
Sorry.
Both fine or refined can.
I will like refined. It has to be refined. All of them must be in their refined states.
Alright.
Except that whoever is selling will be deceiving you and will selling something else to you, but calling it refined or 100% organic, because you can see that the note is talking about 100% beeswax, 100% soy wax. It means that they are looking at you using 100% organic soy wax, beeswax, whatever. But
So if you get some beeswax from a beekeeper, that's no good. It has to be refined in some way.
no, if it's beeswax from the bees, best.
You might have juicy it is.
It's best.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's best.
Like I say, sugar wax, chuck it out, make candles with it.
That's recycling.
That's recycling.
This is expensive, so that means when we buy in supermarket, the candle most likely is a paraffin, right?
No, it has to be soy wax, and they must have it written on the container. I believe they would have written the exact wax they used on the container. If supermarket like Asda will never ever deceive you and use paraffin wax and say they use soy wax. Do you know why? Because somebody can sue them. If the person uses it and it starts soothing, and maybe the person is asthmatic, and knowing that I bought soy wax, it's not supposed to soothe, and then I light it and it's soothing, and my asthma, I can easily sue them. So they will not make that mistake. And it's required by law to label your candle and write exactly what wax is in there. So then you give the buyer the right to make the right decision and say, okay, this does not work for me because of my health condition. I will go for this. If you don't do that, you deceive the buyer.
Yeah.
And they can sue you for that. And as big an organization or a company as that, they will never make that mistake. because you can sue them very big. So they'll do the right things. And I believe that as that they do manufacture, but they take on a lot of products that have been manufactured by other people. So they'll have some regulations by which they would make sure you've met before they even accept your product into the shop. So they'll not make those mistakes. But on the level as creatives, we need more of this information to make sure we are not making some of those mistakes. Because we are selling on a smaller scale, or we are doing it for our family or friends or whatever. We need some of these things. Somebody brought candles to the craft fair and was asking me, does she need regulations to sell candles in the UK? Yes, you need regulations, but the regulations are not as stringent as the soap making regulations. Even though some of them is a requirement by law that you do it, you may get away with a few sales and all of that, and may never get into the hands of the law. You may only when your fragrance has caused, your candle has caused an issue.
Yeah, adding glitter to the candles, to the outside of the candles, and then when they burn it.
I would never add glitter. People do that. I'll never add glitter to my candle. I will never add glitter to my candle. I also see people add leaves and herbs and all. I worry about those. You know, sometimes when you get too creative and too fancy and you're adding things, just think about it, because remember, it's fire that we're putting the thing to flame. And some of these things, anything can happen. It may just char, like if it's herbs, it will just char in your candle. But for safety reasons, you'd want to just be as mindful in your decoration as much as possible. And I'll say that if you have to do any decorations, like I had that rose bud seated on top of it, those ones are safer because it's still wax, but it's only been casted in a decorative piece and it's being put in. You get what I mean? Don't go too extreme and do fancy things when you are not sure, because you are only safe so far as that candle has not created a problem. Once it creates a problem, that is when the authorities are going to ask you, did you label it this way? Because there are laws with it. Did you label it? So if you labeled it and the buyer saw it and still bought it, knowing that she had some allergies or something of that sort, then the blame is entirely not on you, even though you may be blamed a little bit because there were certain things you put in there that by law you are not supposed to put there. So do more research about the law surrounding candles, and the sale of candles in the UK, like I said, is not as cumbersome as the soap making, but there's still some law surrounding the sale of candles.
I think even though there's laws, a lot of companies are getting away with it.
Yeah.
Like I bought something from Fresh Skin, and it's supposed to be a popular, but when they have a label on top of the label. When you peel that off, it's got other stuff in it which you don't know when you're buying. So I contacted the trading standards. And they didn't do anything, but I got my money back.
You got your money back. Because maybe it didn't harm you, unless it harmed you and you were reporting that it harmed you.
It says harmful as well on the.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know why somebody would push someone else.
Even essential oils that they sell in the shops, they have this danger.
Yeah, they're all dangerous.
Yeah, essential oils are all dangerous. Fragrance oils are all dangerous, and that is why they have to. Essential oils are as organic as they are. Too much exposure to sun can affect your skin if you use it directly on your skin. And in everything we
use directly on your skin, all the rest is a bit dangerous to use directly on your skin. You've got to put it in a carrier oil or something else. If you put it straight on your skin.
That's understandable.
But really, everything we use in this world, even water, as natural as it is.
Fluoride.
Yeah.
It's got all.
Yeah. And that is why they advise that label the product. So that the buyer, you have to read it as a buyer. It's your right, it's your responsibility to read it. That decision is yours to make.
They don't have any laws against the companies putting fluoride and chlorine and all that in our tap water.
You know, some of these laws, they are subtle laws until somebody is caused a death, is caused something major, then the law will be read to you and it will come to full effect. But to be on the safer side, just do what the law says. Like the candle one, nobody's not really going to come after you like the way they'll come after you with soap. But if as a result of your candle, somebody's house gets burnt, that is where...
So even if you wanted to decorate a container with some sort of labels and stickers, they must have to be fire retardant.
You mean like putting a label here and putting a label here
on
it,
sides
on the
It might
sides?
get hot.
I think that you should be able to use it. Because everybody should know that you cannot burn your candle for more than 5 hours continuous. Is it 5 hours or 4 hours continuous?
Depends what candle it is. Some 10 hours. 8 hours.
So
Some
all of
7
those
hours.
is information that should be on your packaging.
Yeah.
You get it? So then if the container gets too hot, then it's obviously going to affect your labeling. Yeah. But like we should just, whoever is using the candle should also be cautious in using it. Some of these things we just can't stop. So let's move on to paraffin wax. Okay, no. I think there's a little bit more to talk about. I think the curing temperature, which I didn't talk for soy wax. And at this point, we all know what curing means. Curing is when you've done your candle, don't use it that same day. You have to leave it to sit. Like soap making curing time is 4 to 6 weeks. For soy wax, the curing time is 24 to 48 hours, 1 to 2 days. For soy wax, don't use it immediately. Leave it to sit for that long. The longer you leave it to sit, the better the scent throw. Coconut wax is 14 to 24 hours. So it means that coconut wax, you can use it sooner than soy wax when it's made. But for all of them, just at the back of your mind, know that the longer you leave it to sit, the better the scent through. So 14 to 24. And like I always say, if I do my candle now, and I think it's hardened, so I can sell it. I'm going to a craft fair. I did the candles in the morning. I gave myself 6 hours. It's hardened up. I'm taking it to the craft fair. Somebody will buy it, will go home and light it, and it will not have a better scent through. Oh, the candle is not good at all. It doesn't smell. It's because is partly your fault. You shouldn't have sold that candle that time. If you wanted to sell a coconut wax candle, leave it for at least 14 hours to sell it. Then the customer would have that effect of a better scent through. But if you know you're going to be having like a craft fair, it's better to give yourself 1 week to do your candles and let them sit and cure for a maximum of 1 week, at least give it that long, to have the quality of a better scent through. Because anybody who buys candle today, if they're not gifting it, will be happy to light it and see if it's smelling good. It's natural with everybody. Even if they have different types of candles that has been lit already, they'll still want to lit this one and see if it smells better. So because you don't know at what point they are going to use it, and to preserve your brand name and everything else, or somebody is going to say, oh, Skilled Hands candles, they don't smell good. It doesn't mean they don't smell good. You had put in all the right quantities and everything in there, but you sold it at the wrong time to the right customer who used it at the right time, but had the bad, but has a bad review because she did not get what she was looking for. And maybe if she leaves it to sit for some time and she burns it again after 2 weeks, she'll say, oh, it's smelling better now than when I first bought it.
If we put, if we sit for too long time, is the fragrance really gone away?
No.
The cherry fragrance is really good, really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was somebody's own that was done in your class. It's been sitting for open and let it go around.
You made the best one.
I made the best. I finished using it in my house.
Lovely. I didn't know what you'd used.
No, I'd used a little bit of everybody in the group's own. So everybody's fragrance coming together gave me an amazing fragrance.
Yeah. That was really, yeah. Really nice. Yeah. I was impressed as how strong that cherry one was.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. It filled my whole room.
Which wax is this?
That's paraffin. And we'll talk about it. The way there's a hole in the middle. We'll talk about all of that. I think we get on now, else we're going to... Okay, so the next one is paraffin wax, which is gotten from petroleum. Burn quality burns hot and quicker than natural waxes. Scent is strong, especially when hot. So all of these waxes, the one that has the best scent is the paraffin wax. It's used for pillar candles, votives, and scented candles.
Excuse me, what is the meaning of hot flow?
Hot throw.
Hot flow.
So when it's melted, like when you've lit your candle and it's hot, the wax is melting. It has a better scent. You can smell it more when, yeah, scent is like the scent coming out, like smelling it more. Yeah, basically. So if you're looking at doing your pillar candles, paraffin wax is the best to do. If you're looking at doing votives are like your tea candles, tea-like candles. Paraffin is the best one to use. It can also be used in containers as well. It smells good.
I'm just wondering if it's ylang ylang, the fragrance.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so this one produces a lot of soot, the paraffin wax. So it's basically, and it's not eco-friendly as well. So basically knowing the properties and then using. For the melt temperature, I'll talk about the fragrance weight, which is 5 to 6. And I think it's less because it has a better scent through. So less is more for paraffin wax. So in all of them, the beeswax is the one that has the least fragrance weight. Then it comes to paraffin wax. But let's dwell on paraffin wax now. So paraffin wax fragrance weight is 5 to 6 grams to 100 grams of paraffin wax. Did I confuse anybody?
No.
Are you getting tired with the information? Are you getting tired with the information?
I've written down the paraffin wax stuff. I'll just the bees next.
Okay.
But that's because I just skipped ahead.
Yeah.
I am a bit jittery.
Yeah, no. It takes longer to melt paraffin wax as well because obviously it's very hard wax. So the melt temperature for that one is 80 degrees Celsius for the paraffin wax. Pour temperature 70 degrees to 75 degrees Celsius. And fragrance temperature is 80 degrees Celsius. Sorry, melt temperature is 85 to 90 degrees Celsius for the melt temperature. You add the fragrance at 80 degrees Celsius. And then you leave it to sit and pour it at 70 to 75 degrees Celsius. And then the curing time is 12 to 24 hours. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the bee wax. I think I've said it here already. Does anybody know how bee wax is produced? The sauce, not is produced, the sauce of bee wax. The sauce of bee wax.
Honey, I think that the place that bee make honey and that, I don't know.
Honeycomb.
Is it?
Yeah, the sauce is basically from bees.
Yeah.
Just like the sauce for soy wax is from soybean, and then the sauce for paraffin wax is from petroleum, and then the sauce for coconut wax is from coconut oil. The sauce for bee wax is from the honeybee.
Yeah, but which part of, I knew it was from bees, but how do they separate it from the honey? Like the bees?
I think it's from honeycomb.
The cone.
It's from the it's from the comb.
Becomes wax.
Yeah, and then they use it.
So when they harvest the honey, they spin it in a centrifuge, and the honey spins out and gets poured into a container, and then the wax honeycomb is left. I'm right, Joanna.
You work on the bee farm.
Mum I did work on Stonebridge, yeah, I was volunteer for Stonebridge. So they've got bees hives there, and my friend Tony's the beekeeper. Well, my dad was a beekeeper, and we had 4 hives in the garden. I didn't do too much with them. My children sometimes would throw wet stuff at the hives, and then the bees would chase them, which is cool. But normally the bees are fine. But yeah, my dad used to pull the combs out because on the racks they'd make the wax like a fly, like a bird does, like the spit. That they'll make the wax, and the queen will be in that, and they'll have all the other little bees like pupae in the combs, and they feed them the honey. That's their food, so that they grow the colony. And then the beekeeper comes along, gives them sugar instead, and takes away their honey. And royal jelly and other stuff. They can take out of that to make face creams and really good stuff.
Great. So that is eco-friendly as well. Like she's explained, you can see that. I think you were asking me this morning if it's safe. Beeswax is safe. So it's very, very organic. And burn quality, it burns long, burns clean, and you can smell, if you get the organic one, you can smell honey, the fragrance of honey as it burns. So you do not have to add fragrance oil, except you want to, because it is naturally fragranced.
So you're saying we can use 100% beeswax?
Remember, that's very expensive.
Yeah.
But if you get the natural one, yeah.
It's hot enough. Hot enough.
Very hard.
Very hot.
Very, very hard. And if you just get the bee comb alone, you can put a wick, roll it. So you know the bee comb sometimes can come in sheets. So you can just put a wick here, roll it. And that alone is your pillar candle. Then you light it, that's it. But those ones can be, that's the easy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we use beeswax for one, just use all the beeswax in the candle, or you need to mix another one?
You can use it on its own. You can mix it up with something, or just use it up on its own. Just that. You see it like this. Trust me, it can take up to this much to fill up a candle pot. Because the moment you melt it, it loses volume. I don't know if you get it. And that is why 700 grams of wax could make a candle pot like that. So you see it like this and you think, oh, you melt it and you realize you have to melt more to be able to get this quantity.
But we use the melted wax?
No, as you melt it, for some reason, it evaporates, isn't it? Because when you keep melting your wax, your candle, it keeps reducing. And the only thing is that it burns. Yeah. And it was saying, like, for beeswax, it doesn't burn as fast as some of these ones.
Would you say it's the best?
It's the best.
How about coconut?
It's also good.
Or beeswax?
It's the best. All of them.
Is the first best.
First best will be this, beeswax.
Is it best one?
Because once you have it, it's hard. It has better scent, too. You don't have to add fragrance. On its own, it's good. The organic ones.
So you just melt it?
You just melt it, pour it in your container, wick it, pour it in your container. That's it. Leave it to harden up. Use it. You can also use it on its own like pillar candles. So you can double up as container candles and pillar candles.
Yeah, it's got some hardness to it.
But downside is expensive. That's the only thing.
So when compare with beeswax and the soil wax?
Soy wax.
Soil wax.
You can do a blend of beeswax and soy wax instead of soy wax and paraffin wax. You get it? Because the beeswax has better properties than paraffin wax. It's not soothing. It's not going to soothe.
The coconut wax, is it the best one?
Coconut wax is also very good. Soy wax is very good. Beeswax is best. The reason is it has the hardness you are looking for. It has a better central as compared to coconut and soy. Do you get it? In comparison to beeswax and paraffin wax, they are about the same level. Only paraffin wax will suit. It will make smoky, but this wouldn't. But it has the hardness and a better central. And it's not eco-friendly, that one. But the beeswax has all the good properties, all of it: hardness, better central, eco-friendly, all of it. Soy wax has some hardness, not all hardness. It has a good central. This has a better central. So when you're comparing the properties, the beeswax has all the properties you're looking for. So it's the properties that will tell us if it's which one is good, better, best. Okay, I think we've spoken about everything on this sheet here. Let's talk about candle care and safety tips. First, burn. You have to allow the candle to burn on the top fully to a pool. That's a good safety tip. So if I'm lighting this candle for the first time, I'll make sure that the top of my candle is all melted to a pool for the first time candles. So the top here is all liquefied wax. I've burnt it to a pool. We'll talk about the wicking and how to, because if you don't wick your candles well, your candle will be burning in a hole. Does that make sense? So when we look at the thickness of this candle and we look at the container of this candle, is about right. The thickness of this candle, this wax, will be good for votives. So I had wood wick. I don't know. I've been looking for it. I don't know if I took it back to the office or it's still here.
So the votive is it the one you use with paraffin?
Yeah, votives is the one you use with wax melt, but you use paraffin for it. So wax melt is when you have a wax burner.
Yeah.
You put your wax in here. You put a small candle at the bottom.
Okay.
Those ones are your.
Okay.
You can call it votives or you can call it tea light candles.
Yeah.
Those ones, this wick is enough for it because they are just small bottle containers here. So you have to have in mind the right wick to use, the size, depending on the size of the container you are using.
Okay.
All of it is basically for you to be able to produce a good quality candle.
Okay.
So that when somebody buys it, it burnt well, it burnt at the right time, it took longer for it to get finished, it burnt not burning in the hole. Because remember that when you buy a big candle, a big pot candle that is not wicked properly, like this one.
The wick will drown.
So I'm going to talk about double wicking and triple wicking when we come to wicking. And I don't know if we have enough time, but if we don't, the rest of them, I think you'll read it on your own and it's explanatory so that we can get on with. We can get on with it. But for you to be able to produce a good quality candle, these are some of the things to consider, basically to draw your mind on. Properties of wax, wicking, right time for temperature, adding fragrance, cooling off, pouring off, how to pour it in transparent containers such that you don't have all of those breaks around it. And all of these things are what I just want to highlight on. But then I think that the note is self-explanatory if you read it. So if I'm able to cover more so that we can get on with other things, I'll have to stop and then I'll allow you to go on with everything else. So you have to trim your wick to about 5 millimeters all the time when you make it. Well, you can use a scissor, you can use scissors, or you can use your wick trimmer, anything. So just trim it to 5 millimeters when you've made it. Burn time, do not allow your candles to burn for more than 4 hours at a time. So if it's not written on your container or the wax itself, how long you should burn your container, just stick to the 4 hours rule and not more. Store candles in a cool, dark place. Basically, if they're saying dark, is because of the fragrance oil in there. Because fragrance oil exposed to light you lose the quality of the fragrance oil. And that is why fragrance oil and essential oils come in dark bottles instead of bright bottles. So basically, that's it. We're talking about checklist for candles, wax melting picture, and I have a wax melt here. You can do a double boiler wax melting as well, where you have water, and this is like a double boiler. So we'll have water here, hot water still going on the stove, simmering, whilst we have our wax in here to melt it up, keeping our temperature on the wax and knowing what time to add fragrance, color, leave it to cool, and then we do our pour. So making candles is a very, very simple process, but getting it right is what really matters. I think we've talked about everything.
What's the curing time for beeswax?
Curing time for beeswax, I think that is, let's check to be sure. It's not required. Ready to use immediately. So once it hardens up, you can use it. And that is why when you roll it in the sheet, you can use it immediately. Okay, let's talk about fragrance and notes. Top note, middle note, base note. I think we talked about this in our first class. You okay, Joanne? Ready to go?
Not quite. I'm
No.
just.
How much? Oh, you don't need fragrance.
You don't need fragrance. Can anybody remind us of top notes, middle notes, base notes? Or do you want us to get straight into candle
I
making?
gave everyone a sheet thing, didn't I, with all their health tips on and that. Yeah. And then got the top note.
Okay, so should we go straight into candle making?
Yeah.
Should you go straight, leaving everything else?
Oh, but you wanted to ask questions, which are very important.
Okay. Top
Yes,
note,
you
middle
have-
note, base note. Somebody should talk to us about. I think we discussed this in the first class. We talked about this or not?
No,
We did. We didn't.
not extensively. We did mention it.
Yes.
Okay, please. One of these should go around, but let it come back because this is my teaching. I don't know if I have
Should we
enough.
pass it this?
Yeah. Please pass it on. One for each person.
Oh,
And
one
then-
for each person.
Yeah, one for each person. Please bring it back to me. That's my teaching aid.
Is this 3 different types of
Yeah,
Are they all the same?
of colors. Yeah,
colours?
Yeah.
Of wax?
no wax colors here. So this is a fragrance pyramid where they have the top note, middle note, and then the base note. The top note is the scent you smell first, but the middle note is the lasting smell. The base note is your fixative. So let's take perfumes, or even if we're talking about candles, so let's stick to candles. When you buy candles, the fragrance you smell immediately, that is your top note. The lasting fragrance, okay, like you were smelling. You said something that you smell.
Lang-a-lang.
Yeah. So the one you smell immediately will be your top note, and usually those ones are citrusy. The one that lasts, I smell orange, but as I smell it, I can smell something else, bergamot in there. I can smell something else. The more you smell it, is the middle note you'll be smelling. But immediately when it hits your nose, the one you smell immediately will be your top note. And usually those ones are your citrus fragrances. Then your base notes are your wood fragrance, cedarwood, sandalwood.
Rosewood.
No,
No.
there's no rosewood.
Anyway,
Cedarwood, sandalwood, there's another oud.
Oud.
Oud. All the wood are your base note. Those ones will fix your smell. So that will make your fragrance last longer. So when you're doing your candles, you can decide to do this, pick your fragrances according to top, middle, base, or you can just decide to pick
You mean every candle we will have top,
every quality,
top and base notes.
every quality candle.
We'll have three kind of notes.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you can just decide to use, I'm just using sandalwood, or I'm just using one type of, yeah. But
So what's the ratio?
we'll come to that. I've done a few blends here that is telling you the ratios to use for your top note, your middle note, and your base note. We may not have all of them here, but for all of them, your base note is the least gram. Your middle note has more grams. Your top note has, I think there's a ratio to it, 3:1. 30%, 50%, 20%. So your top note is 30%, middle note 50%, your fragrance note is 20% of your total fragrance weight. Does that make sense? So let's say that I decide to use 60 grams as my total fragrance weight for my 100-gram candle. I will do 2 grams.
Let's see.
I'll do 2 grams of maybe orange, 3 grams of a middle note, floral of spicy, rose, and then my last one, 1 gram oud. So just bear in mind, it's 30, 50, 20.
3 to 1. 30, 50, 20.
If you are talking about percentages, or if you want to go by ratio, 2, 3, 1. All the time, your middle note has more grams. 2, 3, 1.
So the heart, 2, 3 has, the heart notes has the most.
Yes.
Yeah. I think this is a general knowledge of the top, base, middle notes. Everything else, I believe when you go through it, you can understand. But it's basically knowing what your top notes are. Those are your citrus ones. Your middle notes are your florals, fruits, and spices. And then your base notes are all your woods, marks, vanilla.
Ginger is a base.
Ginger is a base because it's wood, isn't it? It's gotten from the roots.
Yeah, ginger.
Okay, let's do some else. You're going to be sitting here whole day. There's something I want to talk about with the wicking. Then we'll just go on to that. I've just sent that to you. At what point do you have to do 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks? I've sent that into the group. I think that when the diameter, when the diameter of your container goes beyond 3.5 inches, from 3.5 inches to 4.5 inches, you can go for 2 weeks. So it is the diameter of the container you are using that will tell you the number of wicks to use. Does that make sense?
But the shape of that is different. So maybe the surface is
I know.
bigger than the
I know what you're talking. The surface can be smaller
Right.
than the bottom.
Yes.
Stick to 1 wick. It's your diameter that tells you.
Right.
Diameter, that the top diameter, that's what is telling you the number of wicks to use. Simply because if my top is smaller than the base of my pot and I do 2 wicks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to overheat the top of my container and it may crack. So it's the top of your container that determines the number of wicks you're using. I don't know if I made sense. In saying that, I think that's the main thing you need to know about wicks. Then there are different types of wicks, which I sent into the...
Couldn't you just use a thicker wick and have 1 wick?
You can use a thicker wick and have 1 wick, also depending on the container you're using. So if you have a thicker wick, then we are looking at a diameter between 2.5 and 3 inches if you want to use only 1 wick. If not, you can use 2 small wicks. I think we should go so we are only using paraffin wax. Let me explain one feature of a paraffin wax you may see in your candle and may think, oh, why is it like that? You can see that the one we took round has a hole in it. That is how paraffin wax works. So it's a bit difficult to work with because when it dries up or it hardens up, it creates a hole in your candle. So when we do it today, what I'll say is when you have excess candle, leave it in your pot. So let's say I melt all my wax. Okay, I pour it in this candle and there's some left, leave it in your pot. When we come back next week, you melt it and top it up so that you can have a leveled, because you're definitely going to have a dip. When you look at this candle very well, you can see it had a dip. And when we came back the following week, we melted and we poured it in. If you don't leave some candle in your container, you come back later and melt it and pour, you may not have an even pour. You may have different colors, or because you're trying to get the same consistency, same color, same everything, it's difficult to create it again, the same thing. So I'll say melt a little bit more than what the container would take. So you have a little left to top it to fill the ditch up next week when we come. Because
you don't use steering, do you?
Use what?
If you use steering, it stops the dip.
If you use stirring.
Yeah, steering stops the shrinkage. Steering. It's animal. I know it's something from an animal.
That you use it to stop the dipping.
And you put some of that in the paraffin wax, and that stops it dipping.
The stuff, okay. Something we learned today, stirring. So we have.
Why we left some why we left some west on next week to top it up?
Because paraffin has it creates a dip. Who has the candle, the blue candle we took round? It's here. When it hardens up, it will harden up like this. Some of them even go deeper than that. It can go deep. So when you come back next week, you just top it up before you cut it.
Level.
No, you don't. Well, it just settles.
It's just only with paraffin wax you have that problem. These ones, they don't do that.
They don't do that. Okay.
So that is one.
Paraffin is no such problem. You mean?
Yeah,
That's the only one that causes deep.
But what kind of wax use?
Paraffin.
Oh, paraffin has
It's the
this
only
problem.
one. Yes.
Oh,
It's the only
that's why
one.
we need to drop.
Leave some and yeah.
Oh.
But you have to wait for it to harden up and then see the dip, then come back and top it up. Yeah. Even sometimes when you come back and top it up again, the second layer will dip a little bit again. And then
Please, can you pass this back?
yeah.
Thank you.
Let me.
Oh, you want to?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
So there are two
Put it
ways.
in the group, please. Thank you.
Okay.
There are two ways we can do it. I have a wax melter, which I think will melt very fast and is less messy, if you ask me. I use that to teach in a private class. And the people say, oh, but she didn't use because people don't like change. Basically, everybody doesn't, most people don't like change. I don't mind change if the change is good. But some people are not used to change. People are used to the double boiler method where they put water on the stove or whatever flame and mixing it like this. We've moved forward. The world has moved forward. We like to work faster, easier, quicker, less
Smarter.
messy, and smarter. So we use that. Because of that, I had a bad review.
Oh yeah, but if you ask me, if you're going to somewhere like that, I would say don't use that because they want to experience every bit of it, and that's what they're looking forward to. If you make it smarter, it's not their business. I know your mindset is for it to be fast, but for them,
My mindset is for me to be less messy because I was working from the office where I have carpets and everything in the training room.
Yeah. But
And
they
I'm
want to
thinking,
experience everything. They want to experience.
no, wait, we are melting wax.
Yeah.
Whether I carry it on my head to melt it, I put it on the table to melt it. At the end, we've melted the wax.
It's
You
not
get it?
important for you, but it's important for them. You're a professional.
Really?
You're just like kids.
Am I being difficult or
No, you're
is
not.
Fola right?
No, she's not being difficult. But what I'm saying is this: when you go out to train, let's say for example, kids, adults, they want to go through all the process. They don't want anything
But
fast.
it is the process, it's just a different
just
container.
Yeah, but maybe
It's
that's what
safer
they've heard
one.
about. Maybe they heard about something else, then she brings something.
Okay, then let's go by the traditional way of making wax.
Yes, I
Because of
suggest
what
when you go for
Fola
training,
said. Okay. So
Go
I'll give
do traditional way.
Traditional.
Seriously.
But you need a stove for that. don't you?
yeah.
Because I meet a lot of group and I tell you, they prefer.
So I'll
traditional
leave my wax melt. Because what I was going to do was melt it, share it, so that everybody.
Surely it's faster.
Ah,
Isn't it faster?
that's all.
Yeah.
I was talking about your trading.
I'll let Fola do. Only Fola will do this
Oh,
one.
yes, yes, yes.
However, the quickest option.
Quickest. We're seeing the process, aren't we? We don't need to
No, actually,
do it the
I think
hard
this-
way.
This nowadays, most of the people using that.
And even bigger ones.
Yes.
Yes.
Bigger
Yes.
ones that have
Yes,
the
I
tap.
know.
Yes.
I was just talking about our training, not
Her training,
not
her
our own
training.
class.
Yeah, but I think the training I'll just stick to the. I'll have both and mention it if you want to do this or that.
Exactly.
Because if they do this, it's easier for me to
Easy.
clean after that.
Yeah.
Usually when people are training and they are paying you for that,
Yeah.
they hardly clean.
Picking.
Yeah.
But those who are very sensitive
Mm.
or considerate will naturally clean without you telling them.
Yeah.
They'll just clean their workspace. I taught not three, there were five students from Nottingham Trent and Nottingham University as friends. They came out to give themselves a treat to learn how to do perfumes. One of them, amazing. Finished early, cleaned up, packed up, sitting waiting. The others did not.
You-
Some of them partially, some of them didn't. So it depends on whoever is coming.
You will see seven students here
Mm.
today
Today,
doing the same.
doing the same. Thank you very much. So we have to know the containers you are using. Then we'll use it to measure the total wax, so that we can share. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
let everyone bring it. Everyone who has a container, please get it out. Let's get water to fill up your container and know what the grams is.
But what about those that have we got container I can buy?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Can I buy
Yeah.
£1.
There's 1 pound container if you want to.
Anybody?
Anybody?
You bought one last week. You forgot it.
Yeah, I've not used the content.
You have something in
So
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful tree.
Anybody?
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Beautiful.
You made a mess.
Very nice.
Pass it.
Is it?
Yeah,
was
I'll
it-
just
did
have
it
that.
have candle?
It did have a candle.
Oh, you are having this one.
Sorry.
Sheila, she wants to
Confident it
pay.
won't crack when the hot wax goes
Yeah.
in.
Anybody else
Is there-
wants?
Actually,
Is there
I
a
use
I don't ever
volume
have change.
label.
I know there's one.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
no, it's not. I can't see anything. See more. Yeah. Those guys are just. You want it? Take it. No need of information. It's cheap. We don't have the time to do all this rubbish.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go off now because I think that
Have we
is.
got- okay.